So we got to the hut last night right as the rain hit and thunderstorms, and luckily they had room left. I asked about the work for stay and was able to do a work for stay, so I ended up cleaning the stove top, sweeping the floors, cleaning tabletops, and this is pretty much about it. And then got to sleep on the floor in the dining room, and I got some supper, and if I wanted to stick around this morning, would have had some leftover breakfast too. It's about 6:15 in the morning. I got everything cleared up, packed up, put back in my backpack, and left before everybody else woke up to start coming into the dining hall. Breakfast was at 7, so I just wanted to be cleared out of there. But yesterday I was hurting bad. I was I think just jet lagged. So this morning I feel like I got a good rest. There was a lot of work yesterday getting up here. Talking to a southbounder, it doesn't sound like today's going to be as rough. Hopefully it'll clear up a little bit, because I think we go over Franconia Ridge today. But it's supposed to thunderstorm again today, so we'll see. Trying really hard not to fall today. Been pretty fortunate. These shoes are helping a lot. But every step is either on a wet board or a rounded rock, a rounded mossy rock. And every once in a while you get lucky and step in mud. But it's all slippery. And each step takes a lot for me to have confidence that I'm not going to fall on my face. So this is the trail so far this morning, just walking down through has been moving water, but getting kind of still here for a minute. Got a lot of boulders and rocks that we're crossing, going down. Really not too slippery. It did rain last night, but glad I bought these new shoes. But yesterday I was in a real bad headspace. And I think it was just due to lack of sleep, lack of nutrition, and the scary climbing up and down we did all day. But yeah, getting to the hut last night, man, what an awesome place that is. And getting there that late, having a place to stay, and being able to do a work for stay, I'm very grateful this morning. And yeah, everything's just a million times better today. I know the first few miles here is just going to be like this, nice easy walk across the rocks down to the road, and then we get probably the most anticipated hike on the trail later on. Hopefully we'll have some good weather. Just what a change from yesterday to today. I was so tired going in there last night and doing the work for stay. Felt really good to do some work for a change instead of just walking. So had to scrub the grates on the stovetop, get them cleaned up. And the sweeping and the picking up and cleaning of the tables, that was no big deal. So they say stepped in a mud puddle. They'll only give you up to 2 hours of work, never more, but maybe less. And I'd say I was a little bit less than 2 hours worth of work to stay there last night. So very grateful. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I was planning on doing Franconia Ridge in really good weather, and I was willing to spend a couple days to wait out and have a perfect weather window to go through there. Unfortunately, the weather pattern we're experiencing right now is rain and storms, and we have kind of a weather window the next 2 days, but we have a whole lot of other big mountains to go over. And Friday, the weather is looking particularly bad, with a prediction of up to 2 inches of rain. So we are wanting to get through here as quick as possible in order to avoid the potential weather we have Friday. Today we have a risk of severe weather. Hopefully I'll get across the ridge before that hits. Alright, got down there a little ways further and the bridge was out. Saw a lot of trails heading towards the river. I'm going to try to find a safe place to cross. Alright, I walked up the river a ways to go check to see if I could rock hop across some of those rocks. And there was one area where I think I might have, but I also think I might have slipped and fell and busted my head. So I came down here where it's a little shallower and wider and just walked through. I came across the river to figure out I'm not on the trail after all. For some reason there's trails leading every which way, and I was off the trail on the other side, so I thought I'd come across here. And this is the Cascade Brook Trail, so I've got to cross the river again. So after all that, I did have to cross the trail. Here where I was going to cross with the rock hops, which that giant boulder out there, I thought there's a big gap between that boulder and the next one. I didn't know if I was going to make it or how slippery that rock was, so I went downstream, and I thought this trail would be the one that led me down, but there's this one as well, which is the trail I need to take. So after about 20-25 minutes of crossing the river 3 times, got her all figured out. Time up here hasn't been too bad, but this is what we've been looking at the whole way for the last few miles. The sky's starting to cloud over. I was trying to push pretty hard trying to get up here to get the views, but I don't think it's going to be perfect. Maybe we'll get a view at the end. Most days I just put these back in my pack and throw them away, but I need the calories. Got these out of a hiker box at the last hostel. They must have sat there for a while because they're pretty chewy. Peanut butter filled pretzels, but they're definitely stale, and I'm loving them. Woohoo! The things we do when we're out here hiking. All right, Stick. Stick is my oldest son. He's been waiting for his view. It's not just this one, it's going to be a whole day of views. Look at those mountains we've been climbing over. And the ones that are still to come are behind us. Still got a view right now. Whew. Quite a climb up here though. Came up from down there, pretty much straight up. Whew. Little haystack. There's the legendary Nobo Lobo. There's where we were. And there's where we're going. Awesome. So glad we get views today. I was scared it was going to be all covered in clouds. I think over there was where we stayed this morning. If I zoom in, you should be able to see the lake and the hut. Way over there. Alright, Stick, hope you're enjoying these views.
One or the other. You don't get both.
Yeah?
You get Franconia Ridge or you get Mount Washington. But you're not going to get both.
I'd rather have views here. So I just got an alert on my phone that said a high chance of high winds, large hail, and tornadoes in this area. So I guess it's time to go down to tree line. We still got about 4 miles to get to the shelter we're going to tonight. Not sure how many people are going to be there, but there's a few people behind us going to the same shelter. And it sounded like some people ahead of us going there. So it could be a pretty busy area. A lot of people took advantage of this nice day to come across the ridge. So it's probably going to stack everybody up a little bit. We're coming down off of Lafayette. We're on Mount Lincoln, Little Haystack, Lafayette. And now we're heading over to Mount Garfield. Been pretty steep coming down. I think we got to steep up before we get to camp. It's just starting to rain, so, and my battery's about dead. So I'm not sure how much more recording I'll do. Got a lot of good footage from Franconia Ridge though, so we'll be happy with that.